Liebherr has unveiled a new 30-ton class excavator. MGL Demolition has carried out a successful blast. And Manitou is looking to build the future. All that and more in the Weekend Wrap. Now, the relative peace of Redcar Beach was broken temporarily yesterday by a series of loud bangs as the latest explosive demolition event took place at the former Teesworks steel facility. Let's take a look. We understand that the demolition was carried out by MGL Demolition, which carried out a very similar exercise back in March. And on both occasions, the button was pressed by Tees Valley Mayor Ben Houchin. So congratulations to the team at MGL Demolition for a job well done, and to Mayor Houchin for a button well pressed. Now, just as I was about to go and press the go live button this morning, I received details from the Health and Safety Executive of a prosecution against Preston-based Bradley Demolition. It relates to an incident in which an operator of a MUP, an access platform, was suffering life-changing injuries. I only just had time to post details of that statement over on demolitionnews.com, so you can read it there, but I haven't really had time to do any real homework or to digest the details, so we'll probably revisit that one tomorrow. Now, if you've spent any time on this channel, you'll know that Peter Haddock of Content with Media is an almost constant presence. He's a co-founder of the Construction Collective and a regular contributor on both Demolition News and Diggers and Dozers. I make no secret of the fact I like Peter. I like his enthusiasm and his passion for the industry. I appreciate his insight and his eagerness. So I was already a fully paid up member of the Peter Haddock fan club, even before yesterday's new podcast episode dropped. But even if I wasn't, I would be now. I won't give away any spoilers. You need to listen to this one for yourself, but this episode goes above and beyond journalism and content creation. This is activism in the most positive sense of the word. It's standing up and being counted. Peter covers a previously taboo subject without being remotely preachy or patronising. And perhaps more importantly, his guest is outstanding, brave and forthright. So please find the time to give this one a listen. I have placed a link to in the description of today's show. I'll add it again in the extended show notes. But this is a pioneering piece of industry broadcasting. So please try to find the time to give this one a listen. Now, it's almost 4 years since the Grenfell Tower disaster that claimed the lives of 72 people, but still the machinations roll on. As you'll be aware, the government has called for the removal of external cladding on buildings across the UK, as this was found to be a contributory factor in the escalation and severity of the fire. However, according to a new report in the Construction Inquirer, the true cost of the National Fire Safety Recladding project is around 10 times higher than the government's allocated funding. The government has set aside £5 billion for cladding remediation works, but this falls woefully short of the £50 billion estimate Colmore Tang Construction believes is needed to make every high-rise housing development compliant. The firm has apparently priced remedial projects on over 20 developments in Leeds, Liverpool and Manchester. It found that the average cost of these works to be around £4.65 million for buildings above 18 metres and £2 million for buildings between 11 and 18 metres in height. According to government figures, around 5,000 buildings over 18 metres require remedial works, while around 35,000 11 to 18 metre buildings also fall into this category. According to Colmore Tang's pricing, this would bring the total to around 25 billion for buildings over 18 metres, and 70 billion for buildings between 11 and 18 metres. You can read the full report over on Construction Inquirer today. Now, if you're a graduate with a Bachelor of Engineering or Master of Science degree or equivalent in civil or structural engineering and you're looking to progress your career as part of a successful and widely respected business, this could be the perfect opportunity for you. Armac Group is one of the UK's leading demolition contractors, and it's looking for a graduate structural engineer. As a graduate structural engineer, you will work alongside engineering, technical and management team to ensure that projects are delivered safely, on time and within budget. The successful candidate will be based at the company's head office in Meriden, which is just between Birmingham and Coventry. And duties will include, although not exclusively to, developing 4 weekly programs with the site engineer and benchmarking productivity measures, assessing actual program and productivity achieved for review at weekly progress meetings, completing inspection and test plans, risk assessments and method statements, procurement of plant and equipment through requisitions, and developing temporary works and lift plans. You can apply online for this chance to work with one of the UK's most respected demolition companies, and I think most people would agree with that. Just visit armacgroup.co.uk. Yesterday afternoon, I attended a virtual product launch hosted by the French telescopic handler manufacturer, and pardon my schoolboy French, but mon Dieu, it was a very impressive virtual event, and I say that as someone that has sat through a lot of virtual events in the last 12 months. I'm currently awaiting details of the various new products that were shown because there were so many of them, it was almost impossible to take note and get down the details. However, I did manage to grab some video footage of the event's big reveal show. So while I work with our colleagues over at Diggers and Dozers to collate and compile a report on the new Manitou products, let's take a look at how Manitou plans to build the future. Now, as I say, diggers and dozers will be posting full details of the product launch just as soon as the information has been downloaded, digested and deciphered. Now, 2 years ago, almost to the day, I was in Munich in Germany for the Bauma exhibition. And one of the main reasons I was there was to see the new Generation 8 excavators from Liebherr. It will surprise no one to learn that those excavators were superb. Everything we've come to expect from one of the world's premier producers of construction equipment. Well, it turns out Liebherr wasn't quite done. The company has now unveiled another addition to an already impressive range. The R928 G8, or Generation 8, is a completely new model developed and produced at the company's Colmar facility in France. The new model is positioned between the R926 and the R930 and complements the current Generation 8 series that already includes 7 models from 22 to 45 tons. The R928 G8 has several features in common with both the R926 and R930, the same superstructure and equipment as the R926, and the same LC or NLC undercarriage as the R930. New model has an operating weight of somewhere between 29 and 31.5 tons. It has a larger bucket size than the R926, a higher drawbar pull, and excellent lifting capacity. I will add a direct link to the machine spec sheet on today's extended show notes. So if you want to find out more, you can do so right there.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.